Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Here's what we're going to do today. We were at the track yesterday. You're going to get that video. And not in this video, but you're going to get that video. You've actually already seen that video. So what's going to happen is I bent the gas pedal because it wasn't lined up with the stop. So it actually hit the stop and kinked it over. So I realigned it. I'm going to weld this rod in here so it can't move. And we're going to fix the stop so the stop fits flat on there. That's going to be the first thing we're going to do. We're going to weld that up real quick. I just tacked it in place. And then I'm going to quickly go through this clutch that we picked up at Bonafonte's and actually show you all the little workings of it. And let's do that real quick. So here's what happens. This is what you saw at his shop. Basically it comes apart like this. There's these cones, centering cones, nuts, okay? They come off. Centering cones come off. They call this the pressure plate and the donut. That comes off. You can see their plate. What's nice about it is they're all replaceable. So let's say you wear this out or you burn it up or something, they're actually replaceable. They could grind them down or they could replace them. Usually they're good to be ground down 2, maybe 3 times and then they replace them. But it's a separate piece. You don't have to buy the whole thing again. This is the disc, sintered iron disc, and like he showed you, it's actually a spring-loaded, which is nice. We used to run the solid one, and it used to tear the input shaft up, like twist it. Okay, once we went to this, it takes the shock out of it, basically, real nice. Same thing with these pads on the flywheel. This aluminum flywheel, real light, all balanced.
Definitely lighter than mine.
Oh yeah, definitely lighter. Got the steps, right? They're called the stands. The stands lock against there. Right?
Here,
They
see
lock.
if I can see this.
Yeah.
They're actually cut.
They're cut. Okay, they're all profiled. And then the stands move. So you got the hole. You can adjust them up and down, right, on the stand. So you can move this plate up and down for your clearance. And like I said, these are also replaceable. The ring is replaceable. Okay. The studs are replaceable. It's a real nice unit. So now what happens is this will go on here in the car. All right, that's centered. This goes on. All gets bolted together. Under these cups, if you look real close, if you look in there.
Yeah, let me see if I can get in there.
Maybe you can get in there.
Yeah, you can kind of see them.
Maybe there's
see the
springs in there. Okay, well this has a dual. They look like valve springs. There's 2 of them in there, an inner and an outer. We're actually going to take the inner one out because we took the inner one out of the car. The one that's in the car now, the unit in the car, we went to a single spring. Double spring, single spring. Then you go by the chart, and the chart tells you how much pressure a single spring and a dual spring makes. And then each one has these adjusters that you turn. You want more pressure, turn it counterclockwise. You want less pressure, you turn it clockwise, right? So you set it up. It goes in the car. This all gets set up in the car. All gets bolted down. Once you tighten this down, these go down like a regular clutch. And then you have these holes. Each one of these holes, there's a little gauge with a little dial indicator that fits inside there. And you set it up at 702. See right here? It says 702.
Yep.
So the depth is set at 702. That's how much this clearance has. And right, that's how much clearance it'll have. On these arms, if you look, each one of these arms has a little hole. So these also are counterweight. They're counterweighted. So you can see how it pushes. It'll actually, when this swings out from the weight, the centrifugal weight, it actually pushes up and pushes down. All right. The weight wants to swing out. They want to swing open. That pushes down on the clutch and squeezes the disc. Because remember, the flywheel's attached to the engine, the motor, okay, on the back of the crank, right? That's attached to the crank. Your transmission, the input shaft, is attached to this disc only. So basically, it's only running on this disc. And when you step on the clutch, you're releasing the pressure, so this disc is loose to run. All right, so when you're in neutral, or in stepping on the clutch, this is running free in here.
Yep.
When you release the clutch or you take your foot off, this whole thing has pressure on it and it squeezes, sandwiches that disc and locks up tranny to engine. Now it becomes all one unit. What you wanted to do, which we didn't have set up right, and that's why it wasn't, it was leaving like
Real
dead
lazy.
hooking hard and like really killing the tire, which
And bogged the motor down
bogged
halfway.
the motor down. You heard it in some of the passes, is because it was too tight and there was no slip. So now what happens is you set this base pressure up. We had dual springs. We had it set up where when it was on the dyno, pretty much everything was really tight, and we didn't back it off enough. So now we went to taking one spring out and then adjusting these one turn. So right now we're at about
It's like, I think 700 or something.
like almost 650 pounds of pressure, okay? Where before,
It was like over
with
800.
2 springs and 0 turns, it was 840, plus we had a turn and a half in it. It was it was locked
And
up.
we had a lot more counterweight on it.
Then we had counterweight on it, and the counterweight was heavy, and it would just bog the motor down.
This is like a 1-to-1.
It was 1-to-1, all right. So now what we did was we loosened it all up. Now when we drop the clutch, it's gonna slip a little bit until the RPMs come way up, and then the counterweights take over and really lock the clutch up down the track. And from what we got in the data that we got now, we can actually take another quarter turn out of the base and a little bit more weight out of the counterweight, and it'll leave better and stay, hooked up even better down the track. So that's your lesson today on clutch and clutch slippage.
We're gonna go get the pedal welded up and
Weld this pedal up real quick,
show you that.
and then we'll put it back in the car. All right, so basically we modified this pedal so that it's gonna fit back on there. Like that, and hit the stop.
We just gotta fix the stop a
I'm
little bit.
gonna make the stop flat,
Right now
and
it's
then,
on
and then make sure we got full throttle. All right, that's it. All right, so we're just gonna basically attack this rod in here, and we're gonna finish welding the rod in and reinforce this, and then we're gonna modify the stop so we know we're not gonna bend it again.
Alright, so we're just gonna grind
Just
that
gonna grind
stop. Alright, so we got the pedal all done in here now.
Everything's nice. Put all the clips back on it. Where'd the little clip go? Put that clip back on there. Pull that pedal out. Let it go a little bit. Let it go a little bit.
Yeah.
Up. Right there. Let it go. Alright. Where's the little clip?
Down on that. Right there.
You see it?
Oh, push on that. There. Get my hand in there. Alright.
That's it.
Alright.
Beautiful. Okay, all done.
Alright, that's it for this video, guys. Like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys later.